Hey, Japan Craft Beer Travelers, I'm Andrew from Taiheiyogan. We'll be joined by...
George from TDM 1874.
And I'm Mark from Sound Brewery.
And obviously we have a lot of energy here. So, I heard from George that you are an amazing brewer, and you can make a lot of great styles. And I heard, well, you said you recommended this Brut IPA.
Yep.
So can you tell us a little bit about the Brut?
Sure. Well, basically the concept behind a Brut is to use enzymes, and you can either add them in the mash or in the fermenter to basically convert more of the carbs into fermentable sugars. And a lot of the longer chain sugars that typically remain in a beer to give it some body and sweetness, they get all chopped up into shorter chain sugars that the yeast can ferment and turn to alcohol. So the beers go very, very dry. In fact, this one is drier than water. I mean, lower gravity than water. It went down to minus 0.2 Plato, which is like 0.998, and water is 1.
Yeah.
So it gets very dry. So what that basically means is that everybody talks about IBUs in beer. That's the bitter eating units, but that's not really what matters for taste perception. It's BU over GU, which is the bitter units divided by the gravity. Well, if your gravity goes to 0, then it goes crazy, right? Any bitterness at all is going to taste bitter. So this one has a calculated IBU of 10 IBU, and yet it tastes like probably 40, 45. It's way up there. We used Idaho 7 in it just because it was an interesting hop, but I really wanted to try it. It's a neat hop from Idaho, obviously. Has a lot of orange character to it. And all late hops, there was the 10 IBU we added was at 10 minutes, so not boiled very long at all. And then all the rest was whirlpool and dry hops. But it's, kind of an interesting beer. That technique we used on another beer we're calling it Dilemma Zone. And Dilemma Zone is a Brut triple. And I don't know if you know what the Dilemma Zone is, but it's a term. My head brewer is a civil engineer. And there's a term for that when a light goes yellow and then goes red, if you don't have enough time while it's yellow to actually be able to stop correctly, but you can't really go through either because you'll hit the red light, that's called the Dilemma Zone. So we figured it was a pretty good name for a beer too. Yeah. It's like, don't stop now, or do you? I don't know. But so Dilemma Zone is the new Brut triple. And again, it's got extremely low bitter, but it tastes balanced. It tastes pretty balanced. So it's interesting to see what you can do that with those enzymes.
I heard you stopped by TDM too.
Oh yeah, I had to stop by to see George, but also because I knew he had the mild on. And that's a beer you don't get outside of UK very often at all.
It's hard to find in the UK as well.
It's getting harder, it certainly is. But I do love a mild, and that was a really, really nice mild. George does some wonderful English-style beers as well as some great IPAs too. But I really do like the English beers, and don't get too much chance to try them. So
No.
Don't you make them yourself?
What's that?
Don't you make them yourself?
Not so much. I mean, we have an Irish style red. I've done a English old ale, kind of I call it like a Yorkshire ale, kind of, for seasonals. So we like to play with all different kinds of styles. And my parents are both British, so I did one from my dad's hometown just to to do it.
I suppose the challenge for you as well is not like, do you make them, can you make them, it's can you sell them in the US, which is the barrier for you, right?
That's exactly it. I mean, it really is, especially in Seattle. There was English-style beers were what really started in Seattle, so now they're considered very 1980s. I mean, they're very old. So there's several breweries who do a lot of English-style beers, and their sales go down and down and down.
Right.
We got the Northwest style. So we really started the brewery doing Belgians. That's what we love. I did a lot of lagers as a home brewer too, so I love doing lagers, and we've been doing those more recently too. Lagers are starting to pick up in sales too, which is nice. For a long time, craft lagers were hard to sell, but now they're starting to really pick up, so that's good.
I've been hearing about that.
Made well, they're fantastic. Yeah. Especially during the summer, right?
It is, but see, I really like the big lagers too, so I love double box and all the big ones too, but they're tricky, and the other thing is they take up a lot of tank space and tank time. To do well, you like a good Märzen truly should be brewed in March and lagered all the way through to September, pretty close. And a double buck I mean, 6 months is not too long to lager a double bock at all. Mm-hmm. And that's a lot of time in a tank when, like an IPA, you can get in and out of the tank in 2 weeks. So,
finances, sometimes.
Yep.
Space, tank space as well. I mean, that's people are saying, oh, when are you going to do a lager? And you've seen the size of my brewery, right?
Yeah, right.
This is why I'm not doing lagers, because...
Can you spare that tank for 2 months?
No.
Yeah.
Like you said, I can make a double IPA in 3 weeks, and that will be popular. The lager, it will take 2 months and not be as popular.
You will have sold 5 batches of beer by the time you got that one done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Well, you also made was it an IPA with Comet?
Strong pale ale.
Strong pale ale.
Yeah.
So how's the Comet hops itself?
So I never had it before. I thought it was great. I thought it was excellent.
It surprised me too.
Yeah, I heard.
Because a lot of what you read about Comet, and they say, oh, it's a bittering hop, and then I found a few people saying, this is great, full of grapefruit, it's dank.
Yeah.
And then I used it, and there's hints of mosaic in there. It's got that really kind of high octane, great hop.
A good, crisp, solid bitterness, which is really nice. It just hits you and ends. I thought that was pretty nice.
So I actually dropped the IBUs on that quite a bit because Comet's quite high cohumulone.
Yeah.
So I didn't want it to be like really nagging. Yeah, so I dropped it down a little bit more, and it came out nice and crisp, like you said.
Yeah, a refreshing beer.
I can't wait to try that one.
It'll be out imminently. It's packaged now. It's gonna hit the shelves soon. Yeah.
What do you call it?
So we're doing a series called one hop pale.
Okay. Perfect.
So then we do one hop, the next. So it's one hop pale Comet.
Nice.
Where can we find Sound beers right
Oh,
now?
here in Tokyo? Oh, boy.
Or even anywhere in the States too, besides Washington.
Well, we distribute in Washington, Oregon, and Idaho, a little bit in Idaho, and then now everywhere in Canada. I think every province. We were in the 4 western provinces and just recently got into New Brunswick, and we're in Ontario next year. So we do a lot in Canada, and then now in Japan. Whenever anybody asks me that question, it's a lot harder question to answer than it was 5 years ago because you used to know the bars where your beer was because you had handles and you got a handle and that handle was there, for months. Now you pretty much sell them a keg. You don't know when they're going to put it on. They'll put it on. It could be gone in a day. It could be gone in a week. And you don't know when they're going to put the next keg on from you unless you're sitting there waiting for them that day that they take it off and you have something they're really interested in.
Or they've got a tap takeover, then you can say they definitely have it.
Exactly. But tonight, you can get it at Beermont Conda. Get it at Watering Hole right now, I know. They've got this one too, the Entente Noel.
It's just fantastic.
I love this beer. So this is 11.5% pale quadruple. Around.
Hey Japan Craft Beer Travelers, I have to apologize for all of the technical difficulties that we had just now. Unfortunately, the camera did cut out at the very end, and it was not Mr. Bean's fault. We just basically talked a little bit more about the Belgian-style beers that Mark has been making at Sound Brewery. So, we have to thank Mark Hood of Sound Brewery for taking the time out during the ACBE to come talk with us. Also, special thank you to George Juniper of TDM 1874 for also helping us out with his wisdom. If you are anywhere in Japan, anywhere in Washington State, anywhere in Canada, make sure you try some Sound Brewery beers. They're awesome. And I'm going to drink this right now. So, kanpai.